Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Steve from UCAN English Tutoring, a pioneer institution that has been helping more than 12,000 students to achieve their desired scores in IELTS, OET and PT academic examinations since 2008. In this video, I'm going to assess one of the letters written by my student for Barry Jones case notes. Before we jump onto the assessment, I would like to provide a gentle reminder in regards to my membership programs. If you join any of the membership programs such as silver, gold, or platinum, you will be able to access all the membership only exclusive videos containing A grade and B grade letters, A grade and B grade role play conversation, 8-band and 7-band essays, reports and letters, and then 90 scoring essays and so on for all three different kinds of examinations such as OET, PT, and IELTS. You will also receive few other strategies in relation to reading, listening, speaking, and writing as well. Let's start the assessment now. So she has written on the date. So you have written on the date on the top. I'm happy with that. And then you have written on the addressee's contact details. That is Miss Jane Graham, an occupational therapist. You don't need to use an occupational therapist. It's not needed. I mean, N is not needed here. You can just simply mention the, but you know, if, I mean, it is acceptable, you know, even if you don't write it down. All right. An occupational therapist, you could have mentioned just simply occupational therapist or just, you know, the occupational therapist. Okay. Both of them are okay.
Answer because O is no.
That's right. Yeah. But that's only in the sentence. When you write it down in the sentence, you have to use N.
Okay.
When you mention their name, you know, in the context section, you should not use N. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Newtown Occupational Therapy, 10 Johnson Street, Newtown. That's good. I'm happy with this one. Dear Miss Graham. Okay. Did you spell the words correctly? That's correct. And you used the correct, you know, prefix as well. So I'm happy with that. And then you have placed a comma. Good. Regarding Mr. Barry Jones, aged 44. That's good. I'm happy with that. So far, there is no mistake. I am writing to request a workplace assessment for Mr. Barry Jones, who is a forklift driver but has been off work for 3 months after he injured his back at work trying to move a heavy box off the floor. I mean, this is a complicated sentence with the long, you know, with the long structure, okay? And you were able to write it down without any mistakes. It's a wonderful sentence structure. I'm happy with that. Okay, so it's a good thing. I mean, I'm very happy with the way that you have introduced you know, this letter. There's no grammar mistake at all. I'm very happy with this. All right, let's go to the next one. So Mr. Jones has been seeing a physiotherapist, so there's no spelling mistake. Good. For the past 3 months. Very good. Okay, he currently walks for 30 minutes per day, although he reports that this is quite tiring. So that's good. He reports that this is quite tiring. Yeah, that's good. I'm very happy with this. So you were able to use this complex sentence structure correctly without any issues. That's really good. That's a great improvement in your writing. Okay, but particularly the sentence structures are really good so far. There's no grammar mistake. I'm very happy for you. Let's go through the next one. Mr. Jones has been compliant with, okay, you have made a mistake. Okay, here, this is wrong. Do you know what is this means? It's like giving, you know, the feedback, you know, negative feedback about something. Okay, compliant. I'll tell you the way to remember that. Okay, so let's say, so he has been compliant with the, so you have written on this, isn't it? Compliant with the something, compliant with the medications. Okay, what did you write here? Sorry. Compliant with his physiotherapy. Okay, right. Let's say compliant with this physiotherapy. Okay, there is an easy way. It's going to be very easy for you. All right. Okay, let's say the word, okay, it should be compliant with his physiotherapy. All right. I'll tell you the way we need to remember this. It's very simple. Okay, let us go through the difference between these two words, you know, in terms of spelling. So one is what? This is the first word, isn't it? All right, so that's COMPLAINT, right? And then this is the second word. There are many ways to remember the spelling easily. Okay, I'll tell you. All right, so that's the next word, isn't it? Okay, how do I identify which one belongs to the negative feedback, problems? All right, and then the other one is adherence to something else. Okay, how do I do that? It's very simple. See this one, I. The word, the compliance. Okay, if I follow the compliance, okay, if I follow the compliance, okay, ailment will not come in the beginning. Do you know what I mean? If I follow the, if I follow, all right, so which means if I comes first, okay, if I follow, okay, then it's going to be compliance. All right, I mean, I can adhere to something, I can follow, or I can adopt whatever it is. Okay, if I don't follow this, okay, I am missing. Okay, I am missing, so I go after the A. Do you understand what I mean? So what happens if I don't follow this? Okay, I will get lots of ailments, AILMENTS, which are the diseases. Do you know what I mean? So let's say here, all right, if the word starts with the I in the beginning, okay, I means I am following whatever the things, medications, blah blah blah. Okay, because I am following, so that ailments will not come. Okay, it will come later. All right, ailments will come later. All right, so if I follow, as long as I follow, it will come later. Okay, after I. All right, but if I don't follow, what's going to happen? So I will go after the ailments only. So A will come first and then I, and that's what we call complaint, isn't it? So when you go here, so complaint is what? Because I didn't follow that, so A comes first. See, if all the other words are the same, isn't it? All the other letters are the same. COM, COM, PL, okay, NT. All right, only the spelling is here. AI, is it AI or IA? So if you follow it, okay, if I follow, I mean, I come first, right? Isn't it? If I follow, I don't get ailments. Okay, ailments will come later. All right. But if I don't follow, so I is going, in the second position. So ailments will come. All the ailments will come. Ailments means the diseases, okay, the conditions, problems, and so on. Is this clear with you all? It's easy. So there are ways to remember, okay, and you have to know these ways. All right. Is that clear with you, Jasmine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead with the next one. All right. What's the next one? Okay, physiotherapy and recovering from. He has been and recovering from. Okay, so let's say Mr. Jones has been compliant with this physiotherapy and recovering from his injury as expected. Okay, and recovering, we can't use this subject here. When you write down this subject here, and Mr. Jones recovering, so is or has been needs to be placed here. So this is wrong. You can't write and recovering, because the same subject is going to be used there as well, isn't it? This means you wanted to say and Mr. Jones recovering. Okay, this is wrong, isn't it? This is wrong. This is definitely wrong. So what you should have done is and has been recovering or and is recovering. I don't know what you want to say, which tense, whatever the tense, both of them are correct. So you can use either of them. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. He is eager to return to work in same capacity. Is that some capacity? Some capacity, right?
Some capacity.
Some capacity, but still gets some discomfort. I can't see, ORT. I assume that you have written already. Some discomfort in his back if he sits for prolonged periods. Okay, that's good. Although, comma. So I told you, right? Although never ever goes with the comma because it is not a connecting phrase. No. Only after the connecting phrases we need to place a comma. I don't know why you have been using this. You have committed the same mistake. Although never ever needs a comma after them. Please understand this. Although he is required to sit for longer periods at work, occasionally required to perform heavy lifting. No. This is wrong. So what you should have done is, okay, although he is required to sit for long periods at work. So this comma needs to be removed, okay? and then you should use a complete phrase after this. Okay, I mean, he occasionally requires to perform heavy lifting. Okay, and you used something here, isn't it? So is that the present tense? If it is ongoing, you can use although he requires to sit, or although he can sit for long periods at work. Okay, in this case you should have used he occasionally requires to perform. Okay, so it should be a complete phrase. So you can't write he occasionally required, that's wrong. So you should say occasionally required. Okay, it should be he occasionally requires to. Okay, it should be this is the way. Okay, he occasionally requires to sit for long period. Sorry, he occasionally requires to perform heavy lifting. Okay, I do not believe he is ready to return to work in previous capacity. I already told you that you need to write down you clearly, because this one sounds like an yen, sounds like yen. Okay, the letter yen. So previous capacity. Okay, I do not believe. Don't try to use I do not believe. Okay, don't write like this. You don't need to say that. So you can say he is unlikely be ready to return to work, or you can say it is suspected that he is not ready to ready to return to work in previous capacity. Okay, so this one is a informal phrase which could have been, this one is an informal phrase which could have been removed and replaced with the formal ones. Okay, but may return if it can be arranged for him to avoid heavy lifting. If it can be arranged for him to avoid heavy lifting. Okay, that's all right. And take regular breaks. Okay, all right. If it can be arranged for him to avoid heavy lifting and take regular breaks, that's good. I'm happy with that. Mr. Jones, employer. Okay, Jones. Okay, let's go here. It's Jones. Okay, so when you write down Jones, the possessive nouns for this kinds of words, I mean the names that end in yes, you have to place an apostrophe after yes only, not before yes, because his name is not John, but his name is Jones, isn't it? So the one you have written on here is incorrect. So you should say, or let's say Mr. John. This is what you have written on, isn't it? So you should say Mr. Jones. There should be an apostrophe here. This is correct, but the one you have written on is incorrect. Okay, that's not good. He's supportive of his return to work. That's fine. Based on the aforementioned circumstances, comma, if you could please conduct evaluation. Okay, evaluation is an evaluation. Okay, so if you conduct an evaluation. Okay, an evaluation. All right, if you could conduct an evaluation of Mr. Jones' workplace. Again, there's an issue. Mr. Jones' workplace. Jones' workplace. So it's going to be Jones.
So again, one yes should come, sir.
No,
Jones.
don't write like that. No, that's wrong. You can't use, Jones's workplace. That doesn't make sense. You just need to use this apostrophe. It is particularly applicable for the names, that end in yes already. Okay. Don't write down Jones's workplace. That doesn't make sense. And provide, spelling mistake. What you have written on is without E. You write like this, provide. It's not provide, it's provide. Okay, so that's wrong. And provide advice as to what duties he could perform there. Can you tell me this? Is it consistent?
Consistent with this recovery.
Okay, what duties he could perform? Consistent. They're consistent with this recovery. I think this is wrong. I mean, based on his recovery. Is that what you want to say? Based on his recovery, I think so. Yeah, it's not consistent with the recovery. I think this one is not appropriate. You can say based on his recovery. That could have been much better. All right. Should you require further information, and then further, see, R is missing. Further information should be further information. Okay, but the one you have written on didn't have R at the end. Okay, so that's not good. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, yours sincerely registered as, that's fine. So everything else is all right. I'm happy with that. And there's a great improvement in your writing. I'm very happy with the way that you have been reducing the number of mistakes. It's all really good. I'm very happy about that. Okay, so let's go through the assessment quickly. Okay, one thing is spelling is an issue. Spelling is a problem. All right, so you should work out on this. Grammar is another area of concern. Okay, that's not good. All right, and then what else I would say? Yeah, under grammar I would say use of articles, verbs, nouns, punctuations needs to be improved. That's the one. Vocabulary is all right. It's not that bad. Vocabulary is okay. Overall task fulfillment is also good enough. So I'm very happy with that. It's also good enough. Okay. Connectivity is fine. We're able to perform well in this one. Connectivity is all right. And then what else? Layout and presentation could be improved a bit. Okay. Use of a range of sentences is fine as well. What else? Yeah, I think everything else is good. Okay, let me go ahead with the expected score. Looking at these mistakes, okay, and their severity, I'm quite happy to give you at least 300 for this letter. You should be able to get 300 for this one. Well done. You have done a good job.